All right, but at least for the sake of something, they tried to go ahead to save their lives, man. But like I said, cases like that come down to hunting skills, comes down to the factors of fishing, comes down to the cases of survival. Like I said, your ability to be able to see blood and you're not throwing up or anything else like that. Yeah, so it comes to those terms. All those conditions of things. Hmm. Comes down to that stuff. Hmm. Yeah. And the factors of being able to yeah, man. Yeah, to be able to use a weapon properly. All right. Even if you just have the cases of like a bow and arrow, all right, or what have you, or being able to use a katana blade properly. You ain't got nothing but that. Whatever the courses is, if you're in close quarters here, to be able to make sure that you can grab enough of the cases of a protein to feed yourself and the other people around you. Talking about survival. Mm-hmm. Cut these grocery stores off. All right, cut all access off of circumstances of you being able to use your revenue and walk in a store and just purchase some stuff real quick and watch a large piece of the population in front of you die off. All right, a lot of you say for the average person, look, man, without government assistance here, dude, you're dead. All right, right. Now, is anything funny about that? No. All right. That's why I said stupidity is at an all-time high here, Halls. When you got some people so stupid, all right, that they come outside here, Halls, and they just look for trouble because ain't nothing positive in your house. All right, yes, indeed. All right. No, every time I go ahead to get up in here, it's like, what do you want? I know you're scared, nigga. You don't got to do all of that. All right. We everybody got to do that. All right. Everybody got to do that. All right. But when it comes to survival, all right. Ew, look at you. But just look at it though. All right, yeah, whatever, dude. It's popping so much, dude, that you yelling and let me get back here to my description of things. That's all it is. All right. Now, let me go back here to this. You would have to hunt for your circumstances. Every piece of protein that you have. So that is your seafood. That is your circumstances. The cases of rather deer, if you can get a hold of some chicken or turkeys and different things like that, which we know in certain parts of nature, then that's already there and it's required to be in place. All right, but it's about the cases if you can see the sight of blood in some of these cases in here and be able to maintain. What some people can't, man, they faint. They get into other courses in here where, all right, no, it's not anything that they mentally condition themselves to have to go through. So when I look at the movie here, this here, it's like, all right, well, you cut the electricity off, as you said there, you cut internet access off, you cut the phones off, you cut all of this process off of normal communication, and watch a piece of the population die, dude. All right. First and foremost, people will start breaking into grocery stores and stuff like that. But the moment that, for the area sense, once people loot enough things here in your environment, dude, yeah, people going to start dying off. All right. Yeah. That will be the natural order of things. The longer you keep a situation like that, the more casualties you'll have in the world. All right. Yes, indeed. And I'm just going ahead to check this scope on things. No, I can think widely. I don't have a one track mind, dude. All right. Now, this is what the circumstances extend of, because we're talking about life and rather preserving life and the circumstances of what would cause all hell to break loose in front of you. And that first case is just natural resources. That's what we're coming to break. All right. Your abilities there here to take care of yourself in here with the natural tools in here. You used to going into rather Food Lion, Sam's Club, Big Lots, Costco's, whatever the case, you used to going ahead and getting. All these shits disappearing off the shelves. No import, export, none of that. All right. Because for most cases, for any people there, period here. And you've seen this too in this movie as well. This one or one of the other ones here. They said it showed you that the people in which controlled a large stock of the food and the resources, these were the wealthiest people in the world. So when you looked and seen spots that were like the little warehouse and storage spots for rather the Snapple juice spots and cereal and all this other shit, maybe even certain types of cattle and beef or what have you, that's where you seen the individuals with big guns and stuff. This is what they went to go take over. All right, which is smart. All right. No, it is. All right. And you want to get like you seen some of these things, they grab this shit up rather for the city or all right, parts of the state or the county, wherever those spots are here, those warehouse spots where they go and fill the trucks up there to ship them back and forth to these stores that you have in your area. Those were the spots that the armed gunmen went in there to take over. All right. Yeah. Cases of waters, cases of juices, cases of sodas, you name it in there. And the guy had snuck in there through the back spot in here, got him a dolly. All right. And started loading this truck up. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. For the terms of survival. Even for some courses in here, for them spots like that in here, certain medicines or different things else that you're supposed to take here for them warehouse spots in here. All right. For these circumstances of, all, like I said, all the resources getting shipped everywhere. You take over that spot, you take over all the resources in that state. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. So while he's sitting in there, at least talking about this case of survival and what have you, food will be the first quintessential thing. Game of Thrones, right? When they go ahead and Sir Bran for the second season before the Battle of Blackwater, and it was sitting him, Varys, Tyrion, they were at a table, and he said that he locked up all the well-known thieves. And then when they asked him why he did this, he said, when a war pops off, the first thing that the thieves do is go in and steal all the food. By the time that the war is over, they're the richest men in town. All right. Women will sell their pearl necklaces, nigga. All right. No, for a bag of damn potatoes. All right. Yeah, because all of that wealth, these jewels, this shiny ass shit that you have don't mean nothing if you can't eat and survive, nigga. All right. Ain't no use to it. No, you're a pretty corpse. That's what you are with no food. All right. Yes, indeed. That's your circumstances. All right. So you're going to have to make decisions based on survival. You put certain stuff like this into play. All right. Yes, indeed. That's why you see them. He took him out and then he took the other Asian dude out. And what he was asking specifically is, what is your connections to America? Are you American? All right. That's why that was his primary questions here in this movie that they had here, Civil War, that came out in 2004. I watched it at least once, man, maybe twice. It was on HBO Max. I think it might still be there. But if you go ahead to check it out, all right, yeah, it just shows you some detrimental points of what it means to lose any forms of law enforcement protection, securities, your military, everything's gone. So, all right, martial law, survival of the fittest, dude. That's what's on the table. All right. Yeah, that's why, like, even for him and his courses, he was explaining to the guy there were no reinforcements that were supposed to come in here, except for the people that he actually knew and the friends that he had. That's why that old guy was able to drive in at the last minute to stop him from getting murdered. All right. Yeah, as y'all see that point there. As y'all see, he's the first guy that goes down in the cases of this is the one of his friends. And then he goes to kill the other Asian man off. All right. Because he was explaining, you go through all the people. The little girl said Missouri. The guy said he was from Atlanta. All right. The woman there, she said she was from Wisconsin. All right. When they got to the dude in the back, he said Taiwan. And when he did that, all right, you heard that gun go right off. He got right up on him because he already knew the deal. That's why that guy was crying and shaking in the back when he seen the first Asian dude get murdered, because he understood what the rule and the pecking order was going to be in this. All right. No, if you are anything, quote unquote, American, right, we will at least try to give you pieces of the liberties of, all right, at least playing around with you for a second before I put you in this hole. All right. In other words, I ain't going to kill you immediately, but you are going to die. All right. Yeah, he didn't look at, from all of these bodies in this ground, y'all, it looked like he came in here to protect anybody. All right. No, this is about lowering the pecking order.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here.
You said population numbers of, all right, your food is scarce, all this other shit. That means you got to lower the numbers. All right. Yeah, immediately. We've already been, you talking about America, already been oversaturated, overpopulated. This is what you hear Bill Gates and all the rest of these guys sitting back here complaining about year to date. All right. No, we have to go ahead to lower the birth, the cases of the birth rates of the black people around here. We need to lift the birth rates of white folks. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. All this shit falls here into play. Yeah. And in this cycle of things, instead of you just looking at it with black folks, they would insert the circumstances of poor people and all the liabilities that come with it. Let's keep going. All right. Just like y'all seen in that Purge movie. What was the damn overall outcome of why they used them cases there in the Purge? All right. No, they started going into the lower budget communities and the places where people were poor and more impoverished and couldn't really survive. And these were the places where they were going and using the SWAT team to clear the whole building out, dude. All right. No, you think the government won't do something twisted like this? All right. They've always been looking for a door to come in here, Halls, to try this shit out. All right. No, the substance comes into place for them at least showing you these movies first, because last time I checked, which I know, the government makes movies, nigga. All right. And they ain't doing that shit for no reason. All right. No, this feeds for terms of their propaganda and where they want the future at. All right. Yes, indeed. Even down to some of the cases of the technology and the phones that y'all have used here. All right. You see some of these things accessed and put in place with movies like Enemy of the State before we even had any of this upgraded stuff. All right. No, showing you the access of the government and different tools that they can use to get inside of everybody's personal business. All right. Listening devices, all types of stuff, dude. All right. No, this is to consistently keep an eye on what the population is doing and what you're. All right. Thus, I told you here, social media is a big tool. All right. Yes, indeed. And it's so much so that from just watching, from having stress tests and things like that, dude, if you were to lose your cell phone, all right, for most of the young people and folks that's older, just losing your cell phone, it forces people out here to have panic attacks and go crazy, nigga. All right. No, that shit, they want you to treat that as an extended piece of your body, nigga. All right. You ever seen a person who, after their cell phone is broken, nigga, or they can't find their joint? You ever look at their face? All right. Yeah, it looks like the world is ended. All right. Yeah, nigga. Like the worst thing ever happened to them. All right. Yeah, not having that damn phone. All right. And psychologically, the government has built it this way. All right. And you look at the guy with the red shades, fair use. We are just using this for the examples of what I'm talking about. All right. This is perfect. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if we can.
Yes, sir. Those two guys over there, they're my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of colleagues?
Journalists, sir. We're passing through.
Passing through to where?
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville. What's in Charlottesville?
Good hiking, I hear. Actually, we are covering the university campus there. They started a new program. They are reopening the school, which is it's a real feel-good story.
Uh-huh.
And I guess we all need that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And from here, as he's explaining himself, the man with the red glasses determines who can live and who can't. No, he got the gun. He's the man of authority. You got the gun? Well, then you ain't the man of authority. All right. And in that case, he demonstrates this by killing one of his colleagues, the person who's un-American, letting you know what his standard is, why he's even got that uniform on. Because what it shows in the movie is that, yes, the military there was in place, but due to the economic situation, the current situation, the internet, electricity, all this shit coming off, it looks like the parts of the internet, the military went rogue. All right. Yeah, they take things in their own hands. Screw this. You don't have America underneath of control. So this is for us to have an opportunity to do our own thing. And at the end, who's going to be the judge, juror, and executioner of us here, dude, when everybody is pretty much in the same predicaments, worried about how they going to live? All right. And that's why you've seen bald, naked areas, spaces where just a large piece of the population is gone. All right. Yeah. All right. That wasn't happened since, dude. They were trying to give you a serious case of scenario of what it would look like in a short period of time. All right. No, a short period of time. All right. A couple of days, all right. Yeah. And I believe there's something educational in all of this stuff. The end of the world or something. All right. They give you these versions of things. Let me fast forward up to something. All right. And you can see the levels of energy different. He went down a list, as I told you, to ask everybody where they were from. The little girl there, I think she said she is from the Show Me State. All right. That's where she's at. All right. The dude that was talking to him, he's from Atlanta. And one more again, that other girl is from Wisconsin. All right. or Wisconsin, all right, Atlanta, and Missouri. For the other guy, he said he was from Thailand, and he caught a bullet immediately. All right. All right. If you want to know what that gunman's judgment was upon life and death. All right. Even as you can hear him, he said, well, that's American. That's definitely American. All right. Blood all in the cracks of his fingers. All right. They made a point to make sure that they showed you all this to let you know he didn't give a damn. All right. No, I don't give a rat's ass, dude. You going in the ground. All right. If I feel anything uncomfortable about you, just a tad. All right. No hesitation. All right. He didn't even look at the guy in the eye as he went there to shoot him in the chest. All right. Shot him right in the heart and killed him. All right. Hold on here. All right.
Colorado.
Mm-hmm. No, Colorado. I'm wrong. All right.
Colorado, Missouri.
Got one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. American. Let me make sure I can see this screen. Pardon me.
Who's this guy hiding over here?
There we go.
Hey, buddy. What's your deal? Where are you from?
And he knows it.
Huh? Where are you from? What?
Yeah. You talking about working? No, they got a bobcat over there, whatever it says, bulldog, what you call it, bobcat, where they done dug the holes for all these bodies. All right. Yes, indeed. No, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. Yes. And you go for it. Yeah, and this is where he put the bullet in him.
English, okay?
And he said, I want to hear you speak straight English. Tell me exactly where you from. He said, this is Taiwan. Bam. All right. Yep. And when that happened, this is when you had, dude, please stop doing that. All right. And if he did not, in this case, the guy came up with the truck, that dude would have been dead. I believe he would have killed the rest of them. All right. Because as that guy felt in his anger, the gunman, don't sit up in here and tell me what the hell to do. All right. You are not in charge of nothing. All right. No, you ain't going to be in charge if you live or die. So that damn sure means that you can't save the person to the left or the right of you, nigga. I don't care how good you think you can talk. All right. Yeah. You a reporter or something. All right. Yeah. You are whatever you are until I end that, nigga. All right. That's his position. All right. No, you got to understand. All right. Thus, when he put the other guy down, all right, you can hear it in his frustration. All right. Look, man, don't tell me shit. All right. Look.
Just stop it. Okay. Stop it. Who the fuck? Stop it. You think you are?
Luckily, with that big ass truck or SUV, that was enough to kill him. All right. Maybe his homeboy was taking a piss or something. This is a movie, of course. But originally, when y'all seen it line up, they had two gunmen on them. That's why I was kind of shocked with this cases. All right. Or what they going to do to the other gunmen. All right. Yeah. Yeah. They made some split a distance for them to get over. Only in the movies, man. Only in the movies. All right. I told y'all about the efficiency of an AR-15. You talking about bullets that explode right there in your chest. All right. Yeah. So when they go ahead to hit you here with this here, it's more than the damage of what you would see a 9 or something do here. They show y'all this here with the gelatin devices, talking about the white supremacist terrorists and what the effects of the bullets do here. It's a 60-minute special on YouTube. But if you go ahead and look at it, it's a short clip, 60-minute special. I'm pretty sure anybody can find it. All right. But when you look at what they show you with the gelatin device, man, it shows you that, okay, for the 9, you shoot that bullet, it goes straight through the gelatin device. You see it go straight through. Shroom. All right. For the cases with a bullet or the AR-15, when that junk goes to hit to shoot to go in, as it comes straight up in you, at some point there, it explodes in you. All right. Crushing, breaking any bones, whatever, what have you that it hits. All right. Yeah, it's there to destroy shit, nigga. All right. No, this is not there to say, all right, you get one bullet. All right, and whatever limb that it hits, you might be all right. It's there to destroy the bone, all right, and to put you in critical damage, nigga. All right. Yes, indeed. This is why when you go ahead to ask certain questions, all right, well, why do these little terrorists, why do they want to go ahead to get the AR-15 or the AK-47 or the, all right, yeah, all right, so that they can have these type of damn bullets that, all right. That's why you see most cases there, a person is not surviving getting hit with these joints. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Just to give you a full history check and background on this. Mm-hmm. Yep. They made one of the, I want to say the AR-15 or what have you, made one of them for the civilian, and then they made one for the military officers. All right, folks in the military. All right, this is how they created those two types of weapons. All right. No, just to make sure you be clear on this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like I said, a lot of people wouldn't survive, man. They wouldn't. All right. Like I said, there's judgment upon the dirtier work done in the world. All right, people may call it savagery, or you might call, oh, this person is mad, they're crazy, they're this and that. Understand, if you didn't have any factors of this, we would not be standing on the damn soil that we are. Everything that white society has there in power, they got from going over to go and dominate somebody. Nobody begged, please, and said, hey, can you please give me something? All right, there were casualties, there were slaughters. I'm talking about the history books. People were violently assaulted. All right, the whole nine. All right, no, there was plenty of blood. All right, that's what the history books will never give to you. All right, never. All right, no, that sounds too much like Ray. All right, any part of history you sitting there looking at where you talk about war. All right, yeah, what else do you think came with that? Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. I don't care what factors of war you talking about here, dude. All right, because if it starts, and I said something small here for a communication process, they're showing you how the rest of the world already will react to it, dude. And it's going to get real dangerous real fast. All right, the same person next door that you feel like you cool with, that you can trust, you're going to have to be on guard about, nigga. All right, hell yeah, especially if you got resources. All right, and they don't. All right, yeah, what person you looking around here that don't want to live? All right, and if survival is right next door, all right, meaning you got food, all right, you got waters, you got all types of shit. Yeah, you're going to have some weapons, in fact, to be able to protect and to guard that, dude. All right, that's just going to come with the territory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely will. All right, it all comes in line. All right.